Hey Browns fans! Here are the latest updates from our team, so hit that like button so you don't miss any of the latest Browns news. We have some big updates today, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for them. Now, let's talk about the Browns offense. It's been a rough start, and there's one stat that really puts things into perspective. So far this season, our offensive line, once a strength of the team, has become a weakness. And unfortunately, it's Deshaun Watson who's paying the price. He's already been sacked 19 times, which is a big concern. According to a recent report from Pro Football Talk, the Browns are the only team in the NFL that hasn't reached 300 yards of offense in a single game this season. That's tough to hear, especially when you consider the massive investment made in Watson. The closest we've come to that 300-yard mark was in Week 2 against the Jaguars, where we finished with 297 yards, just shy of the mark. On top of that, we're averaging just 3.86 yards per play, the lowest in the league. That's not where we want to be, Browns fans. It gets even more frustrating when you look back at last year. Joe Flacco, who was a last-minute addition to the team, actually outperformed Watson in terms of offensive production. It's shocking to see 7 quarterbacks in the league right now who are averaging more passing yards than our entire offense, * more than 20 other QBs are also passing for more yards per game than Watson. On top of that, our running game isn't doing much better. Guys like Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, and even Jordan Mason are outpacing our rushing attack. But it's not all doom and gloom. We have a great opportunity against the Commanders. Their defense ranks near the bottom of the league, so this could be the perfect chance for the Browns offense to turn things around. But don't get too comfortable. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders offense are no joke, and they could easily pose a real challenge for our defense. So, what do you think, Browns fans? Will our offense finally come together against the Commanders, or are we in for another tough game? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We have some unfortunate news for the Browns defense. Defensive end Alex Wright has been placed on the season-ending injured reserve list due to a triceps injury. This is a huge blow to us. Wright has been dealing with this injury since practice against the Vikings in August. Unfortunately, it only got worse, and after an MRI and surgery in Dallas, Wright's season is officially over. Wright himself took to Instagram to share the news, and you can feel the frustration and disappointment. He mentioned how the injury first flared up during Vikings practice, but he tried to fight through it, even playing through the pain. After the Jacksonville game, however, things got worse. Wright's latest MRI showed that his partial tear had worsened, forcing him to undergo surgery. Here's what he wrote. After the Jacksonville game, I had an MRI on my triceps because I was dealing with pain from a strain in the same area during practice against the Vikings. It got worse due to a partial tear. So now surgery is underway, which will cause me to miss the rest of the season. But 91 will be okay. Everything happens for a reason. It's in God's plan. You can feel his passion and drive in those words, Browns fans. Wright was a third-round pick in 2022 and has been a key part of the defensive line rotation. In 37 games, he has made 6 starts, racked up 61 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, and 6 sacks. One of his biggest moments this season came in Week 2 when he brought down Trevor Lawrence for a safety in our win over the Jaguars. That play was a real highlight. Now, with Wright out for the rest of the season, we have a hole to fill on the defensive line. The Browns have yet to make a move to fill Wright's spot on the roster, but we can expect to see more of Isaiah McGuire stepping up in the rotation alongside Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, and Ogbo Okoronkwo. So what do you think, Browns fans? How will this injury affect our defense going forward? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. So, we've all been watching and hoping for a stronger start from Amari Cooper this season, right? But things haven't exactly gone as planned. Our 5-time Pro Bowler, the guy we all expected to be one of the biggest weapons on offense, has gotten off to a slower start than anyone anticipated. With just 16 catches for 148 yards so far, this is definitely not the Amari Cooper we're used to seeing. Now, let's break it down. What's going on? Cooper has had some drops, penalties, and, let's be real, some bad luck on the field. In Week 4 against the Raiders, there was a deep pass from Deshaun Watson that Cooper couldn't secure. That drop led to an interception, and we all knew how costly that was for us. Then, just 2 drives later, Cooper found himself wide open. Watson threw a beautiful ball, and Cooper took it 82 yards to the house, only to have it called back by a holding penalty on Nick Harris. Ouch, right? That play would have been the longest completion of Watson's career, and it would have put us ahead late in the game. But this is football. Plays get called by penalties, and it can be brutal. Cooper admitted that it's not easy to get over those moments, saying, "Sometimes I wish I could erase memories from my brain, but unfortunately that's not the case." You have to be incredibly resilient. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but it's part of being a professional. And that's the mindset of a veteran. He knows you have to bounce back, even when things don't go your way. What makes it even more frustrating is that the Browns have struggled with penalties all season. In fact, we've accumulated the 4th most penalties in the league so far. It's not just the drops or missed plays, it's the constant setbacks that are making it hard for our offense to find a rhythm. But despite all of that, there's still a lot of confidence in Cooper. Our offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey, had nothing but praise for Cooper. He said, "I love watching him work because he works hard for us in practice, and I think you see that in the game, too. He's the type of player that makes special plays for us." And honestly, we saw flashes of that. Take Week 3 against the Giants, for example. Cooper had 7 catches for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns, proving he's still a threat when he's on the field. Watson echoed that sentiment, saying he has complete confidence in Cooper. At the end of the day, we move on to the next play, and he knows I'm going to come back to him no matter what, Watson said. That's the chemistry you want to see between your QB and WR. These two have combined for over 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns in their 16 games together, so it's clear the potential is still there. Now, looking ahead to Sunday's matchup against the Commanders, Cooper sees it as a fresh start, a chance to really make things happen. The Commanders may be 3-1, but Cooper says the Browns are ready. "We've been practicing, we've been emphasizing certain things from an offensive standpoint, and we're crossing every T and dotting every I heading into this next game," Cooper said. "So we're looking forward to getting out there and being a dominant offense. At 1-3, this is a game we need to win, and Cooper is determined to be a part of the turnaround." So, Browns fans, what do you think? Can Amari Cooper bounce back and lead our offense to a win against the Commanders? Do you think we'll finally see the big plays we've been waiting for? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. We've got a long season ahead of us, and you're going to want to be here for it all. Go Browns!